Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the 2024 Fiat 500e. As with all of my reviews, I'm going to cover all of the ins and outs and take this thing on a thorough drive. There's a whole lot of stuff to cover, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The all-new Fiat 500e marks the return of the iconic Cinquecento for North America. This time, though, it's been developed specifically as a battery electric vehicle for city commuting. I personally own a 2015 Abarth, so I've been eagerly awaiting a chance to experience one of these cars just to see how much has changed. While new to North America, it's been on sale overseas for several years now. It's currently the best-selling small car in Europe and positioned in the top 5 for battery electric vehicle sales globally. Having won 42 awards thus far, it's the most globally awarded Fiat in the company's 124-year history. Wider and longer than the previous generation, the new 500 offers improved interior space and storage. Perfectly proportioned with optimized weight and aerodynamics, the Fiat 500e makes for a pretty awesome urban commuter, one that's brimming with coolness and charm. On the outside, the 500e has a noticeably present stance while remaining true to the historic lines that have made the 500 an icon. While it may be hard to notice, its wheelbase has grown by 0.79 inches. The body is 2.4 inches longer. Width grows by 2.4 inches, and it's 1.6 inches taller. An additional 1.7 inches of shoulder room for the front seats makes the front of the cabin feel more open. The proportions are so well done that the larger dimensions blend into one another, with the most noticeable difference, in my opinion, being the front end. Some of my favorite design elements include the new front and rear LED lighting, E-latch aero door handles, and the updated front grille. These features combine fashion and function as they also contribute to improved aerodynamics. There's additional details that are pretty cool, like the Italian flags and the small winglets on either side of the hood, the Made in Turin scripts on the taillights, and the small tag on the quarter windows that read La Prima 500e. La Prima means the first, representing Fiat's inaugural all-electric model. As part of its innovative marketing plan for North America, Fiat is the first automaker brand to incorporate a product drop strategy that they hope will create buzz, cultivate customer loyalty, and ultimately appeal. The product drop strategy involves the creation of different variants of the 500e to keep the vehicle fresh and interesting. Each model will be quote-unquote dropped, meaning released at a particular time in a limited quantity, similar to successful initiatives carried out in the fashion apparel industry. Let's be honest, the 500e is a niche car, even more so than the previous generation was, and doubly so in the North American market outside of city use. For many folks, this will likely be a second vehicle, unless you have little need for driving far out of the city, as the limited range will require frequent charging on longer trips. For those whose lifestyle fits the 500e, it's a hilariously fun little car that offers big character in a little package. The first 500e drop was the Red Edition, which starts at $34,095, including a $1,595 destination charge. The Red Edition's unique details include red painted exterior mirrors, rear badging and front grille details, plus a striking red dashboard with black cloth upholstery and additional red accents. The Red Edition is available in 3 exterior colors: red, glacier white, or tuxedo black. More recently, the Red Edition was joined by 2 new drops, Inspired by Beauty and Inspired by Music. Each celebrates a pillar of both the Fiat brand and Italian culture, offering customers a harmonious blend of aesthetics and performance. An idea derived from the unique color, rose gold, the Inspired by Beauty model is the only 500e that will offer this color. Exterior design features include body color mirror caps and chrome daylight opening moldings. The Inspired by Music model caters to audiophiles with an exceptional JBL 7-speaker amplified audio system with subwoofer. It's finished in tuxedo black. Unique to the JBL audio system is Virtual Venues, which offers listeners a virtual reality audio experience that changes the acoustic characteristics of the car depending on the chosen location, transporting listeners to unique listening environments. The Inspired by Beauty and Inspired by Music models both start at $37,595, including destination. There's really no additional options. Everything's packaged up in these models. They both feature an interior outfitted with a cream eco leather upholstery set, a soft touch steering wheel, and an eco leather wrapped dashboard. Later this year, another drop will be expected to launch called Inspired by Los Angeles, which features a marine layer mist body color, dark gray mirror caps, a body color matched dashboard, standard JBL audio, and the same two-tone interior color as the other Inspired by models. In my humble opinion, the product drop strategy sounds cool, but I think it limits the car's potential. Opening up the order books to offer more colors, more a la carte options, more wheel options, and of course, bringing over the Abarth model would widen the car's appeal. Even more so if there was at least a hybrid model offered, the potential customer base would also improve immensely for those who have longer commutes, like to take longer trips, or just want the 500 as their only vehicle. The 500e rides on standard 17 by 6.5 inch cast aluminum gloss black wheels with diamond cut accents for a bold, dynamic presentation. They almost look cosmic, as if stars were whizzing by you whilst entering warp speed. Currently, there are no other wheel options available. This car is fitted with the standard 205/45 Pirelli Cinturato all-season tires. Goodyear summer tires are also available. The 500e's front brakes are larger than the standard brakes found on the previous generation 500, and more in line with the previous generation Abarth models. They're internally ventilated discs that span 11.1 inches in diameter and are clamped down by single piston calipers. The rear brakes, believe it or not, are drums spanning 8 inches in diameter. The European 500e Abarth models swap out the drums for discs for better performance and high-demand driving. In daily use over a week of driving, the brakes could use a little bit more bite, but that's just me being picky. The car stops good and the pedal response is quick. Again, keeping in mind that this car is at home navigating an urban jungle, it's not a sports car. Stopping from 60 miles an hour takes about 124 feet. I am curious though, if it ever gets sold here, how much of an improvement the Abarth model would be. The 500e also has regenerative braking, which I'll dive more into when I talk about the powertrain. In short, there's a few different drive modes that affect the level of regen braking. I drove in the regen mode mainly and thought the standard one-pedal driving feature was one of the most intuitive setups I've used. It's very smooth and works well. Let off the accelerator slowly and the car starts braking. Let off quicker, it starts to stop quicker. It doesn't eliminate the need for the brake pedal, but it's a handy feature in town once you get used to it, so you don't have to go back and forth quite as much between the accelerator and brake pedals. Being a true one-pedal driving system, it can stop the car fully, hold it, and release once the accelerator is pressed again. If you want a more natural coasting type of behavior and quote-unquote engine braking, the normal drive mode disables one-pedal driving. The 500e's suspension is a simple McPherson strut setup for the front and a twist beam axle in the rear. The handling is honestly superb. Credit that to the location of the battery pack. It stays pretty flat through corners and hides its weight well. It's no surprise that this is the lightest EV available in our market. It is a bit heavier than the last 500, but it drives so well you wouldn't even notice. The 500e has rack and pinion steering with electric power assistance. It has an overall ratio of 16.1 to 1, and it takes nearly 3 turns to go from lock to lock. The turning circle measures 31.5 feet. Compared to my 2015 Abarth, the steering doesn't feel quite as tight or sporty. It's a little light on feel, but it still exhibits some similarities, mainly stability even at higher speeds. As little as this car is, it's really quite amazing just how planted it feels. The turning circle is also quite a bit tighter, by about 6 feet, which makes this car even easier to whip around the city. The 2-spoke steering wheel is wrapped in eco leather and offers this cool two-tone theme in the Inspired By models, plus grip bolsters at 10 and 2. Various buttons across the spokes allow you to operate the features of the instrument cluster: hands-free phone, voice commands, cruise control, following distance if equipped, and highway assist. The audio controls are ergonomically placed on the back of the spokes. The steering wheel is adjustable for tilt and reach. The 7-inch full digital instrument cluster offers a couple of different layouts that you can switch between that shows your speed, consumption, and recuperation levels. Using the controls on the left of the steering wheel, you can switch between various menus including trip and economy information, driver assist, audio, navigation, messages, a system tutorial if you wanted to learn how to use different features, plus a menu for vehicle, display, and safety and driver assist systems. The 500e's electrification consists of a front-mounted 400-volt AC 3-phase synchronous permanent magnet electric motor and a 42 kWh lithium-ion battery. It develops 117 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque. Top speed is 94 miles per hour. Accelerating to 60 miles an hour takes about 8 seconds, which is pretty reasonable for what this car is meant for. The 500e is quick off the line with the EV drivetrain's instant torque delivery. It's very responsive and a lot of fun to whip around town. The front offset single-speed transmission incorporates the differential and features a 9.6 to 1 ratio. The transmission is also water-cooled. The 500e is only offered in a front-wheel drive configuration. With a curb weight of around 2,952 pounds, the 500e is about 440 pounds heavier than a previous generation Abarth. I didn't notice the weight near as much as I expected to. The battery pack is mounted low and central within the chassis to ensure maximum interior space, improved weight distribution, and lower center of gravity. It also helps the car feel more planted. The transmission is operated by a bank of buttons in the middle of the dash. Simple to operate, the 4 buttons consist of park, reverse, neutral, and drive. 3 drive modes are included to suit different driving styles. Normal mode closely resembles familiar driving characteristics. For example, the coasting of an internal combustion engine when you let off the throttle. Range mode activates the car's one-pedal drive function, which optimizes regenerative braking to capture more energy when coasting. Sherpa mode maximizes energy efficiency to ensure you reach your planned destination or the nearest charging station. The mode adjusts various parameters such as limiting the vehicle top speed to 50 miles an hour and reducing power. Full throttle delivers full power if requested. During my week of driving, I stayed in range mode mostly to take advantage of the additional recuperation. The one-pedal drive feature uses the electric motor and regenerative braking to provide stop-and-go function using only the accelerator pedal. It also provides greater capture of energy that would normally be lost and uses the electricity later for propulsion, which is ideal for low-speed urban traffic. The technology pairs with e-coasting and the management of vehicle deceleration to further increase energy efficiency. A standard cabin preconditioning system also allows drivers to begin a journey with a climatized cabin while still plugged in. This feature brings the 500e cabin temperature to a chosen level without depleting the initial state of charge, ensuring comfort is never compromised for efficiency. Every 500e includes a level 2 charging wall unit or charge credits through Free to Move Charge. Free to Move is a 360-degree ecosystem from Stellantis that delivers seamless charging and energy management to address all electrical vehicle consumer needs. More information about that is on the website. The 500e handily tackles the common concern of charge time using the equipped 85 kilowatt fast charger system, in which 5 minutes of charge time translates to a range of up to 31 miles, more than what's typically needed for city commuting. The 500e also includes an 11 kilowatt AC/DC onboard charger and a combo one socket for easy charging at home or on the road, which can be scheduled ahead of time using Uconnect or the Uconnect mobile app. Estimated charge time from 0 to 80% is approximately 35 minutes with an 85 kilowatt DC fast charge. Estimated charge time from 0 to 80% is about 35 minutes with an 85 kilowatt DC fast charge. Estimated time from 0 to 100% is 6 hours with a 240 volt level 2 charging station at 48 amps. 120 volt level 1 charging is not a viable long-term solution, as the charge times are significantly longer than level 2. Level 1 is best used for mild top-offs or for a vehicle that's sparingly used. Real-world charge times will vary based on the battery's starting state of charge, the battery's condition, output of the charger, vehicle settings, and outside temperature. The combined miles per gallon equivalent for the 500e is 110, or 121 in the city and 100 on the highway. The EPA rated driving range is 141 miles. In my experience, I typically saw about 146 miles of range when the car was set to range mode. The lid for the charge port is at the back of the car on the passenger side, just like the gas door on the previous generation 500. An LED charge status indicator gives you a quick glance of charging status when you're standing at the charge port. Within the infotainment system, there's an EV menu where you can view power flow and instant consumption information, as well as driving history. You can set charging and preconditioning schedules, as well as modify the charging level if needed. Inside, every square inch has been thoughtfully designed for a modern interpretation of the timeless Italian style. Fiat enthusiasts will immediately recognize the dashboard insert, rounded cluster, and two-spoke steering wheel as an homage to the original 1957 Fiat 500. This car is a big leap forward compared to the previous generation. The styling is more intricate, there's a few fun Easter eggs, and I believe the build quality is improved. The 500e is not a luxury car, but it doesn't feel cheap either. Yeah, there's some hard plastic surfaces, but everything fits together nicely and feels solid. Soft touch materials are included on the essential touch points. The ergonomics are also better, partly thanks to the improved cabin space, but also an improved utilization of that space. Classic meets contemporary with a 10.25-inch center touchscreen, combined with a 7-inch full digital instrument cluster for a harmonious digital user experience. You also have push-button ignition and push-button releases for the door locks. If needed, manual door releases can be found towards the bottom of each door panel. Newly designed center console and door panels allow for plenty of storage for daily essentials. One downside is that there's only one cup holder in the front. It's built into the front of the center console near the floor. It can be folded and stowed when not needed, opening up space across the middle of the floor, which is pretty cool. The center console has a pretty good sized cubby, plus there's two USB-A ports and a USB-C port for charging and connecting to the infotainment system. The seats feature a fresh design as well, with 6-way adjustability for the driver, including height adjustment for an improved driving position. The front passenger seat features 4-way adjustability. All seating offers thoughtful use of recycled materials. The steering wheel is adjustable for tilt and reach. The seatbelts and headrests are adjustable too. As I touched on earlier, the 500e inspired by models have this two-tone cream and black colored interior. The red edition has black cloth upholstery with red accents. The seat inserts on all 500es are stitched with repeating Fiat logos. The standard single-zone automatic climate control system features a bank of easy-to-understand buttons that sit above a standard wireless phone charger. You can also operate the climate controls from the center display. Heated front seats are standard. There's no physical controls for them though, you have to turn them on via the climate menu. The standard Uconnect 5 touchscreen includes a lot of great features, such as wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, 3D GPS navigation, voice recognition, AM/FM HD radio, Sirius XM satellite radio, and Bluetooth connectivity, featuring streaming and hands-free calling. The basic Fiat audio system, which is standard in the Inspired by Beauty, offers good sound quality overall, but it's definitely missing that extra punch that audiophiles will want. It's a shame that Fiat is limiting the 7-speaker JBL system to certain models. I think it would have a high take rate as a standalone option. The Uconnect 5 infotainment system builds upon a well-established, intuitive user experience and third-party recognition with Android's automotive operating software and faster processing speeds. The system features an exclusive and customizable home screen that allows quick access to frequently used features with one-touch operation. Uconnect also expands Alexa home-to-car functionality to include in-vehicle Alexa virtual assistant with natural voice and Hey Fiat, wake up word capability. Smartphone mirroring and wireless smartphone charging make connecting and sharing easy, while simultaneous dual-phone connectivity allows greater flexibility with passengers. Uconnect 5 also features firmware over-the-air capability to seamlessly load improved software updates to the vehicle. For such a small car, the 500e packs an incredible amount of standard safety features. The new Inspired by models introduce a Level 2 active drive assist system for the first time on a Fiat in North America. This technology combines adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist to assist drivers on select roads. Automatic emergency braking and pedestrian alert are also standard, along with blind spot monitoring with rear cross path detection, park sense, front, rear, side park assist, and emergency call. Airbags include dual-stage front airbags for the driver and front passenger, front and rear side curtain airbags, a driver inflatable knee airbag, and driver and front passenger seat-mounted side airbags. A rear-view camera is standard, along with an auto-dimming rear-view mirror, power-heated exterior mirrors, remote keyless entry, and rain-sensing wipers. Like all other EVs, the 500e was required to produce some form of noise at low speeds to make pedestrians aware of its presence. Most cars use a spaceship-like tone. The 500e does this when it's placed in drive, and it's slightly louder when placed in reverse. However, when you start moving, the car actually starts to play a song titled The Sound of 500. The exclusive melody provides a taste of Italian culture during the first moments of every drive. I wasn't able to get a clip of it during my drive, but here's a short recording of the song. You can access the rear seat without too much fuss thanks to the handles adjacent to the front seat headrests. They release a latch that allows you to tilt the backrest and slide the whole seat forward. While the 500e has 4 seats, you're probably not going to be transporting many people in the back unless they're shorter, say around 5.5 feet or shorter. This was pretty much the way the previous generation was set up as well. It might be a little roomier than the previous generation, but for someone of my height, it's just too small of a space. Being 5 foot 10 inches, could I sit in the back? Absolutely. Would I want to for very long? No. Once seated, I didn't really have any room left over, My head touches the ceiling and my legs wouldn't fit unless the front seat would slid forward some. Thankfully, in a pinch, the front seats have a lot of room for adjustment, so a compromise could be made if needed. The back seat is absolutely usable, it just depends on who's sitting back there. There's adjustable headrests on either side and child seat anchors. There's also armrests built into the side panels and a cup holder in between the seats. I'm surprised they only put one cup holder back here as well, as the previous generation offered two in the back of the center console. I'm also surprised they didn't offer any front seat back storage pockets as they did previously. With its hatchback design, the 500e offers a lot more cargo space than you might think. Obviously, it's a small car, but if the rear seats are not in use, you can cram a lot of stuff into one of these. Behind the rear seat, there's 7.51 cubic feet of cargo space. Trunk lift-over height measures 27.36 inches. A cargo privacy cover is included to keep out prying eyes. It's also easily removable if needed. Underneath the trunk floor, there's a storage container for a standard tire inflator kit, roadside tools, and a convenient place to store the included charging cable. A spare tire is not included. It's very easy to fold down the rear seat backrest with buttons adjacent to each headrest. The backrest is split 50-50 for additional flexibility if needed. One thing to note, depending on how far back the front seats are positioned, they may need to be slid forward a tad to clear the headrests when folding the rear backrests. You can then slide the front seats back to where you had them. While it's not a flat load space up to the front seats, you can see just how open the space is, making it accommodating for taller, bulkier packages. There are no additional trunk amenities aside from a light on the left side panel and a pull strap on the hatch for easier closing. Well everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like down below because it really helps the videos a lot. And if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing that too, and make sure you turn those notifications on. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.